video, I'm going to share with you guys how to color your hair extensions. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on getting the best result, and I'm also going to share with you guys how I colored mine this particular color. Obviously, you don't have to do yours this exact color, but the tips and tricks I share is going to apply to all colors that you do with your extensions. Extensions are only really meant to be colored darker. I do not recommend purchasing dark extensions and bleaching them, as the extensions are no longer connected to your scalp. They're not getting any nutrients from your scalp, so it's pretty much going to wreck your extensions. So my general rule is only color extensions a kind of semi-permanent, like fashion color, or a darker color. So the color that I had was not exactly the right match for my blonde hair. I was planning on doing this color anyway, so it didn't matter. So basically the main thing you've got to remember when coloring extensions, don't go in the wrong direction from the cuticle. Always try and keep the flow of extensions in the same direction. So basically here is the clip with the weft. Keep the flow in the same direction. Don't ever kind of back comb it or run it upwards, because it's just going to create knots and it's going to damage the health of your extensions. So basically the colors that I used today are semi-permanent, really conditioning colors, so it's not damaging for your extensions at all. I used a fair few different colors to get this kind of molded effect to my extensions. So obviously you don't have to do this kind of color. As I said, you can do any colors. These are fashion colors that I'm showing you guys today, so they are just semi-permanent colors. Okay, so this is how I like to set out. I've got some cling wrap on a table all ready to go to protect my table. Make sure that you've got your color ready to go, and you've also got some gloves as well. So I like to work with one piece at a time. That way you know that it's completely covered and you're going to get a beautiful even result. As you guys can see, I'm holding it steady with my left hand just so it doesn't move around on me, and I'm just brushing the color on in the one direction. So just down. I'm not brushing it back because it's going to create knots. So the main thing is to use plenty of color. If you're short on color, you're going to end up with a patchy result, especially when you're going for fashion colors like this. So I'm applying a fair bit of color on. I'm also getting right up close to the top of the weft and just completely covering it all in color. Once you've done the front side, it is so important to flip the extension over and do the back side, because there can be quite a few areas that you may have missed. So again, go through that whole section with the color and apply that on there. Then what I like to do is just give it a bit of a comb through with a brush, or even just work it through with my fingers to make sure that every single last drop has been covered. So here I'm doing quite a few of my shorter extensions. I've actually laid these extensions, but I'm doing these shorter layered pieces the same color as my all over hair, because that's going to help them blend in a lot more. If I did these a real dark green or a real crazy color that's different to my hair, it's not going to blend as well. So you need to kind of plan it out where you want things to go. So these are the top sections of hair. As I said, I've laid these. So because I'm just doing these all the same color, it's fine just to work with the same bit of cling wrap and just wrap them all up together once they're colored. Okay, so for other colors, or ones that have multiple colors in the same piece, I'm again starting with a fresh piece of cling wrap. I like to do multiple colors in the same weft because it looks more flowing and natural, rather than having a big chunk of one color in one weft and then the other weft a completely different color. So I've got all my different concoctions here, and what I'm doing is grabbing little sections of the extensions at the time. So literally the section that you grab is going to be the section that's colored, so you can make it as thick or as thin as you like. And I'm just separating the extensions and then coloring them in separate pieces so the colors don't mix together. When it comes to flipping the extensions, instead of just flipping it to the left or the right, I actually flip it completely kind of upside down, so then the colors that are on the cling wrap stay where those original colors are. If we flipped it the other way around, then the paler green would be mixing with the darker green and it would just make a big mess. So I flipped it backwards so that way it all stays nice and clean. Once you've done with this color, what I do is grab another piece of cling wrap, place it directly over the top, and then start again with my other colors. So continue working your way through all of your extensions in your desired pattern until they're all colored. Once all of your extensions are coloured, wrap them up and then allow them to process. Make sure you always follow the manufacturer's instructions on processing time. It should be written on whatever colour you use, and make sure you abide by those. Don't go over, don't go under, just keep an eye on it and just follow the instructions. If you have blonde extensions and you're wanting to do them a darker shade, like brown or something like that, still the same kind of technique applies. What you need to remember is that blonde hair doesn't have any kind of underlying pigments in it really, whereas dark hair, just say from a 5 level down, has a red base, and between a 5 level and a 7 level has an orange base. So if you want to colour your extensions from blonde to a darker shade, you're going to need to fill the extensions first with a red or an orange base before you put the colour over the top. That way it's just going to give you more of a seamless result with your colour. So when it comes to washing out your extensions, it's really important, the same just with colouring, to make sure that it goes in the one direction. You're not kind of rubbing them together because it's just going to damage them. You just need to keep it going in the nice same kind of manner just to keep your extensions healthy. Again, wash your extensions. You can shampoo them and condition them just as normal. Make sure you use a really high quality shampoo and conditioner that's designed for extensions to keep them healthy. And as long as you're just following in the same direction as the hair, then you're going to be fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Bye!